Thank you for choosing Axxess On Demand. Axxess believes in continuing education, and we create content to empower you to learn and grow anytime, anywhere. Let's get started.
All right, good morning, everybody. I am Brian Nelson. I'm a operational product manager here at Axxess for the home care product. And I am joined by my clinical partner today, Lisa Malone. Both of us have over 10 years of experience in the home care industry, either running agencies directly or doing operations at a larger scale. Today, we're going to spend some time going over caregiver documentation for our non-medical clients. And we're going to really be focusing on our custom visit and our custom care plan. So we're going to show you both the web version and the mobile version of the custom visit. We're going to go through how EVV works for the visit, and that works the same way for all of our products. And then we're going to go through some new features, which is our guided validations. Excuse me. And then once we complete the note, we're going to go back into the QA center so you can kind of see what the QA process looks like. So earlier today, we did go over our medical documentation, but this is strictly for non-medical and more of our caregiver type care that we provide. So, all right, so upon logging into the system, you'll get dropped into our dashboard here. And so from the dashboard, if you want to get into your scheduled tasks, you can select My Schedule Tasks, or you can get into the Schedule Center by going up here to Schedule and then Schedule Center. So I'm going to start with the custom care plan and then kind of show you how that feeds into the custom visit note. Previously in our webinar series on the company setup, we talked through document management and daily living tasks. So you would first have to create the document for the custom care plan and the custom visit note in our company setup, which is over here under admin company setup. You'd have to establish a relationship between that care plan and that note. And then you'd also have to create some daily living tasks that would appear on both the care plan and note. So we've done that previously. So I'm just going to go to a custom care plan for our patient here that we've previously filled out. And so the custom care plan is really going to drive what the caregiver sees on their custom note. So you'll see here under vital sign parameters, we've set up a few different things that we want the caregiver to pay attention to. We can also select NA here. If we select NA, it will not appear on the note at all. So that's just a good way that if you don't want them doing anything with vital signs, you can select that NA and they won't even see it. Same thing with safety precautions. So we've selected here to keep the pathway clear and do some safety and ADLs. But again, you can select NA and it won't appear at all. We also have templates here. So templates is a good way to add in any specific information that you want the caregiver to pay attention to. And the template feature is fully customizable. So if you have just some general reminders or some general text that you want put in there, you can create your own template under admin list templates, and that will flow into the note if that's something you'd like for them to have. And then for functional limitations and activities permitted, we do have a few different choices here. But again, for today's purposes, we've selected NA. And then underneath those, we have the daily living tasks. So how the daily living tasks work is this is, again, a list that you would have created in company setup that will appear on every custom care plan. And then you would tailor the custom care plan to that specific client. So for the client that we're taking care of here, we've selected that we want nail care done. And then we're also able to specify the times of the day that they want. So if you have multiple shifts occurring within a day, so let's say you have an 8 to noon and then a 4 p.m. to 8 p.m. shift, you can specify that you want certain activities or certain daily living tasks performed within those certain time frame parameters. And you can see we have some categories here as well. So we have platinum personal care, and then we have nail care selected. And then if we scroll down more, we have pillbox filling, and then we have remind to take pills. And again, most lists maybe wouldn't be this long, but again, you can make the list as long as you would like it. So we have some general housekeeping items here that we've selected. And I just wanted to point out as well that you are able to enter in instructions for each of the daily living tasks. So if you feel like they need a little bit more explaining as to what is involved with that daily living task, you can put that there in the instructions. And then in a normal world that wasn't a live webinar, you would complete and sign this. I'm just going to go ahead and exit. And then I'm going to show you what, since we've established that custom care plan, we've told the custom care plan what items we want flowing to the custom visit note, what daily living tasks, what we want on there, what safety precautions we want. We can then go ahead and see that we have this custom visit mobile note scheduled for today. So I'm going to go ahead and open that. And this will be showing you the web view. So the majority of our agencies that are using the software right now are using the mobile app, and that's what the caregiver uses to complete the note. But if for some reason they have their laptop handy and wanted to fill out the note on their laptop, this is kind of the view that they would get. They can view the care plan here, and that's just going to be kind of a PDF format version of everything that we filled out in that care plan. So you can see here we had the safety precautions selected, we had NA selected for functional limitations, and then we have some of these daily living tasks that we selected. So they're able to see their start date, their end date, the time in and time out. They can enter in any associated mileage, travel time or surcharges. And for each of these items, we do have validations built in. So for associated mileages, they couldn't enter in text there. It would have to be numbers, and it couldn't be decimals and things like that. And then we have the vital sign parameters. So those are read only. They're not supposed, you're not supposed to do anything with that. It's just telling you what the vital sign parameters are. Then they would be able to enter in vital signs as they take them here. And then we have anywhere where you see a red asterisk, that is a required field for them to enter in. So they're able to enter in all the different vital signs that they need to. And again, those vital signs have validations built into them, so it'll force them to enter in correct information. And then you'll see here on the daily living tasks, we're able to see the name of the task and any of the special instructions that were entered in on the care plan. And on the caregiver side, they're just going to be selecting yes or no. If they do select no, and we'll demo this on the mobile side as well, if they do select no, then details does become a required field at that point. And then it's on the caregiver to enter in, the reason for refusal or the reason why the task was not completed. So that's kind of how it would look on web, and then there is also some comments down at the end if there's standard verbiage that you all like your caregivers to use at the end of the shift, they can put that in there and or do a brief kind of synopsis or an overview of how the visit went. So, and then we do have a variety of addendums, excuse me, easy for me to say, that you're able to attach to the custom care notes. The majority of these addendums are more for our medical patients, but there might be, we do have a supply worksheet, so that might be a good option for some of our non-medical patients, but a lot of these are kind of more designed for our medical patients. So that is the web-only side of things. So we're going to go ahead and get into the mobile side, and give me 1 second while I set up some screen sharing.
Okay. So, yeah.
Yeah. So we're going to go ahead and log into our app now. And then whenever users log in, they're able to see their scheduled visits. They can see anything past due, anything upcoming, or anything that's been complete. We do have offline capabilities. So as you can see, kind of to the right-hand side of each of these upcoming visits, we have a blue cloud icon. And so that blue cloud icon allows for you to select that, and we'll do that here. And then it'll download that, and it'll turn green into a green cloud icon. And that means at that point that you can, go offline and use that downloaded visit. They can also go up to the hamburger menu in the top left-hand corner and select download visits. And by doing that, that'll actually select any visits for today. And then the following 2 days, it'll download all of those visits for them whenever they go offline. So they're also able to do their EVV offline, which we'll cover as we go through the process here. So we're going to select the note for today's date, which is 1/9. And then we'll see that we have the option to start the visit note or start task verification. If you're only wanting to do EVV, you would select task verification, but since we're also completing the document, we're going to select visit note and say, yes, we want to start this visit. So it's going to retrieve our location and start our EVV. And then kind of, a lot of the similar items to what I just showed in web, but here we have them kind of all grouped together. And in the top right-hand corner, you can select expand all if you want to see everything all at once, or you can hit collapse all if you don't want to see everything at once. So similarly to before, you can view the care plan by selecting select care plan, or view care plan, excuse me. Again, it's that same PDF format that we looked at before. You can enter in your visit details. Since we've started the EVV, it's not going to give us the option to enter in EVV details, because in company setup, we set up that we want to use the EVV as the actual time. So that takes care of that for us, but we could enter in any mileage, travel time, surcharges, etc. The vital sign parameters, again, displays as before. Or excuse me, safety. The discs. And then we're going to enter in, just for the sake of today, we're going to try to create some errors so that you can see how our guided validations work. So we're going to select no here, and then we're going to leave the details blank, even though it asks us very kindly to enter in the detail there. We're going to select yes for remind to take pills daily. We'll say yes for wash dishes after meals, and then we'll say no for clean the kitchen counters, and not enter any details, and then we'll say yes for the last couple as well.
We'll just leave that one blank. Okay.
All right, and so we're going to hit complete or save, either one. And then now we're going to get this message displayed that we have 3 errors. So that ribbon down at the bottom, we can click forward and back on the arrows in particular, and that will take us to the page with that specific error on it. So for error 1 of 3, it is highlighted with a red box around that we did not enter any details. So we'll go ahead and enter details there. And then you can see at the bottom, it's changed now to let us know that there are only 2 errors that we need to address. And so now we'll move on to the next error. Again, we'll enter in that detail. Now it's going to tell us there's 1 error. We'll move down to the next one and then complete that. And so that completes the actual documentation part of the note. And then the rest of this will actually be completing the EVV portion of the note. So we're going to go ahead and complete our signature time. Confirm that all of those details look good, and then collect our client signature. And then we can either get the client signature, or if we have a client unable to sign, we can select that as well, but we'll just go ahead and do the signature, which is way harder than it looks. Just kidding. Lisa did a great job there. So we're going to select submit. And then that's great. We got a success completed EVV. We'll select OK. Then the staff will go ahead and sign their note to let us know that they've completed their note. And then this is what we call our visit details page. So they'll be able to see their verify EVV time in, their EVV time out, the client signature, and then as well as the data points or the geolocations for the EVV time in and time out, and then the registered client address from within the system. So now that we have completed the note, that note should flow over to our QA center. So I'm going to go over to our QA center. And then, so here we can see that we have our custom visit note for our client right here. We have this house feature. So you can select the house and see those visit details. Again, we can see who it was assigned to, the visit date, their time in and time out. And then again, we can see those, the map of those geolocations that it captured, and you're able to see the client's signature as well. If we select the task, a visual display of the note will pull up, and we can either edit the note, approve the note, return, download, print, or close. Most oftentimes you're going to be selecting approve or return. If we select return here, we can type in a note to let the caregiver know, hey, you know, I don't like the verbiage on your details for one of your daily living tasks, or hey, you put in, you know, mileage of 100, was that an error, or something to that effect. So if you enter in that note and then hit return, that will go back to that specific caregiver. They can make any changes or ask any questions, and then it's submitted back for approval. Or if you approve it and it looks good, you can select approve, and it moves through the system, and then it's good to go. So that's kind of a brief overview of just our most commonly used non-medical note, which is that custom care plan and custom visit note. Are there any questions out there?
You can type your questions into the question box and we'll be happy to answer them. As we mentioned before, you are able to download documents on the mobile device and then complete those, your EVV as well as documentation, while offline. There will be a yellow banner on the mobile device that lets the caregiver know that they currently do not have internet connection or network connection. When they do complete their note, or when they fill out their note, they're not able to complete it until there is a network connection. They can save the documentation and then they will need to sync that once they do achieve connectivity. And then once it's completed, it will flow over to the QA center. Okay, we don't have any questions so far.
All right, well, thank you so much, everyone, for attending, and we look forward to speaking with you again next week. We have a couple more live webinars set up for Tuesday and Wednesday of next week, so if you're willing and able, we'd love to see you then. Thank you so much, everybody.
Thank you for joining our on-demand training today. Axxess is the only home healthcare technology company approved by the American Nurses Credentialing Center to offer continuing education credits and the most recommended home health software on Software Advice. You can watch more on-demand training videos through our industry-leading help center or at axxess.com, where you'll find tutorials, blogs, white papers, and answers to frequently asked questions. Axxess, empowering care anytime, anywhere.